मेरे से पहले we had a geologist, we had an hydrologist, we had a professor. I'm just a practitioner. So बहुत कम समय में I'll just पुट अ पर्सपेक्टिव सेवा इंटरनेशनल ने विगत कुछ वर्षों में डिजास्टर में जो कुछ काम किए हैं वी हैव सम practical understanding out of it, and I'm just trying to put it in next 10 minutes or so. Disasters or the risk related to disasters cannot be made zero. किसी भी प्रकार की आपदा या उसकी जो रिस्क है पूर्णतया समाप्त नहीं की जा सकती है. So what is it that we can do? And that has been the thought of this session. How can we strengthen the resilience and better the adaptive capacities of the communities? And through some of our experiences, probably I'll try to present a journey of response, rehabilitation, and resilience that we have done so far. Sewa International, as we all know, started in 1993 in the aftermath of Lathur earthquake in Maharashtra. And in last almost 30 years, we have responded to some 60 or 65 small, big, large disasters, both natural as well as man-made, in different parts of the country. The nature of response has been in terms of relief, in terms of rescue, in terms of rehabilitation, and also in terms of some developmental activities then. Coming to the Himalayan regions, which is this conference is all about, we have served some 12 or 13 disasters in the Himalayan regions, starting from the West Bengal floods in 2000 till the recent glacial burst of Tapovan in Uttarakhand. And our journey or our understanding based of this has been, if we are talking about building the resilience of the community, it can be seen at three levels, three stages: the relief stage, the rehab stage, and then the resilience stage. Relief, as we all know, deals with the primary response, the rescue activities, the immediate assistance, the critical infrastructures, food, medicines, healthcare, tangential issues, collaborating with the inline departments and all. Once this initial relief activities goes on or completes, we decide what to do. Does the community need our support? That is a big question that comes to civil societies. The sector that I represent, we are all sort of full of ourselves and we run to bring solutions. So, a good question to ask at that point of time is, do they need us? And if they need, then we proceed to the second phase, which is rehabilitation. Understand the community, sensitize it, develop, develop participatory models of approaches of development, define the projects, if we may use the term project here, and then, of course, strategize the implementation. This journey might go on for, say, 3 to 5 years or maybe 3 to 4 years. And then it's the real test of any initiative that any organization does in community. When we use the term resilience, it simply means, is that model of development being sustained by the community, which is being led by the community? Is the community whose participative capacity we try to develop has been developing it on their own? Is there some sort of domino effect there? Has the institutions, the PRIs, the various CVOs that we have tried developing, have they been the prioritized focus of all the developmental activities? Is the community the driver of initiative? And are they aligned with the broader vision or the connotations of development, SDGs in this case? Basis that, I will just present two cases in Uttarakhand that we did. The first case would try to capture the rescue and relief phase, which is the Tapovan glacial burst. The core is proactive response. So on 7th of February 2021, I vividly remember I was in Gupta Kasi. Manoj Benjwalji might be sitting here somewhere. He was at my place. We received a call that तपोवन में कुछ तो हुआ है. क्या हुआ है किसी को नहीं पता. It was around 10:30 or 11 in the morning. By 5, 6, 7 hours of drive, we reached there. In an NTPC plant in the Rishi Ganga, Dholi Ganga Valley, there was a glacial burst up there, and more than 300 laborers and workers who were in the tunnel got caught. We just rescued around 100 bodies. Around 150 or 200 people are still missing. And there we saw certain things, what was missing. So interdepartmental coordination. We had bodies like, since it's a border area, there was ITBP, there was Army, there was NDRF, there was SDRF, there was state administration, there was police, there were organizations, there was NTPC, it's CISF, all were there, but who is going to take the lead, no one knew. It took us 72 hours to decide that we need to dig the tunnel with humans who survive on oxygen. So 4 things that we realized there. In terms of proactive response, we need the rescue mechanism, effective warning and evacuation mechanism. We need the essentials. Essentials mean food, water, medicines, clothes. Since it's a winter, it's a Himalayan region, warm clothes. We need shelter. And we need immediate primary medical care. This is what we tried achieving there. While converging with various agencies, including NDMA, NDRF, we conducted some survey also after that. By facilitating the tangential issues. So imagine the situation in Tapovan glacial burst where 200 male earning members of the family who got caught. Now there are families who have their bread earner gone. They have to fight at 3 levels: the trauma of their loved ones, the livelihood of the family that is gone, and the children or the future of the family who don't know what to do. There is dignity in life, there is dignity in death. These are the issues that is around facilitating the tangential issues. Shelter, we developed some community shelters, we built up some places, and that is how all the NDRF people and people rescuing were also supported. And post-disaster, we had our counselors and we visited all those 10, 11 villages there. In these disasters, if you have worked on the ground, one thing you will realize, हमारे गांव में जब किसी की मृत्यु होती है तो उनके सबसे बड़े सपोर्ट सिस्टम गांव के लोग होते हैं. You have 10 people around the family in their homes to support. But imagine a situation where in a village of 20 households, 10 households have lost their loved ones. Who is going to support whom emotionally? They live with a prolonged trauma. That needs to be addressed eventually. So this is, and I'm not presenting any solution here, given the time here, I'm just presenting some questions and thoughts here, which I'll try to articulate in the upcoming slides. Second is the 2013 Uttarakhand disaster. I'll just take the latter phase of the disaster where we developed some resilience and rehab models after 2019. In terms of strengthening the resilience, we worked on 5 primary areas. One is community-based institution building. Second is facilitating the primary health. Third is empowering the digital literacy. Fourth is developing some community-led enterprises. And fifth is working on the community-based livelihood, including farm and non-farm. And in the resilience model, by 2022, we developed some institutions of community importance. So a community-led institution called Pravasi Adarsh Gram in the aftermath of COVID, where they were trained, educated, resourceful villagers returning back to a village, they had the potential to develop a Pravasi Adarsh Gram or model migrant village. Similarly, in healthcare, knowing the needs of the Himalayas, we developed some mobile and e-health models. Under digital literacy, though we started with some computer centers, we evolved those centers to be run by young entrepreneurs called Yuva Udyami. In community-led livelihood, We developed a producer company called Him Sampada Producer Company, and I'm proud to say that around 4,000 women farmers are part of that. 5 minutes, sir. Last is livelihood activities. We are running some farm-based and non-farm-based projects. Now, beyond all these cases, there are 3 slides that I want to bring to your notice. What has been our approach? We realize this approach and the drivers of this approach starts with sensibility. उत्तराखंड में एक जगत सिंह जंगली जी है, हमें से कुछ लोग जानते होंगे. उन्होंने बीएसएफ छोड़ा और मिश्रित वन डेवलप करना शुरू किया. मैंने उनसे पूछा कि क्या प्रेरित किया आपको. उन्होंने एक शब्द बोला, पीड़ा. अंदर पीड़ा नहीं है तो नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो दैट सेंसिबिलिटी इज द कोर. अंटिल एंड अनलेस वी डू नॉट discriminate between the right and wrong, what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done, that has been the core. And how we think community does not know, but it's the other way around. Community has the sensibility, it's we who need to know that. Then it needs synergy. Individuals cannot do it. That's why a consolidated, synergized, harmonious approach or effort is needed. These two are not sufficient. To pull anything off, you need skills. That is the capacity building part. And then try to see where the sustainability lies in this whole journey. So these have been the 4 founding pillars of our approach of community development in disaster areas. And how does this participatory framework work? Sensibility might be instigated or started with something called a community sensitization or awareness generation. The synergy part can be brought through something called institution building. The skill part could be developed by conscious and sensuous approaches of capacity building. Sustainability in terms of cultural, social, economical things could be brought in terms of enterprise development. And then cycling it back is where we are trying to approach certain things in terms of policy and advocacy and thought leadership. We cannot do it alone. No one can do it alone. That's why we need stakeholders. We need community, we need industry, we need academia, we need civil society, we need government, we need policy institutions. That's what we are doing here. That's what we want to do here. What's the way forward? And this is the last slide. If I have to aspire, and I'm consciously using the term aspire, the idea of Himalayan development, and we have a session on Himalayan development, and I should not touch that. But if I have to think about that, I would probably have these 5 stakeholders or these 5 aspects addressed. A able community which responds effectively. So that comes when you say community takes the lead in that disaster. Then the stakeholders or the agency who collaborate effectively based on their strengths, weaknesses. No one should fight or compete to lead. Third, it is not sufficient without any adequate infrastructure, assets, networks, systems. Technology is something that we all have around. Though it could be used for destruction, but we can use technology for prompt response mechanism. And fifth, ecology has to be the basis of the approach, whatever development model we are looking. That's all from my side. Thank you.